Old Teacher Phelps here. Today's topic of discussion is about anti-teacher language. This is something that I see from society, from the news, and sadly even from the very administration and leaders that run our schools, especially from them. Today I want to talk about what anti-teacher language is. I want to look at some examples, and then in a part 2 video, I'm going to examine a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So let's start by first defining what anti-teacher language is. Anti-teacher language is any language that criticizes, disrespects, or undermines teachers. It often downplays the mistreatment of teachers, avoids the actual issues in education, and/or adds to the problems in education. Now, to take it a step further, I'm going to break my definition down into 2 versions. We have blatant anti-teacher language and we have veiled. Blatant is just what it sounds like, okay? It's obviously anti-teacher. Veiled is a little more hidden, almost like a form of toxic positivity. Sometimes veiled anti-teacher language is not malicious and it kind of sounds reasonable, but it is not reasonable. Let's look at some examples. Just to quickly show you what I mean, let's take a common problem in the classroom: extreme behavior issues. Now I'm talking ultimate disrespect, a negative environment, just honestly an out of control class. And just to be clear, this is a normal occurrence for public school teachers. So you've tried everything, you're at your wit's end, you're desperate, and you go to admin expressing your problem. A blatant example of anti-teacher language would sound like this: I see that classroom management is just not one of your strong points. Teachers are already writing too many referrals as it is. Maybe you're just too strict with them. Kids will be kids. We're going to have to put you on an improvement plan. You suck. Now, administrators probably wouldn't say the last one, but I think sometimes they come close. Now let's look at the same situation, but with a veiled anti-teacher language response from admin. It might sound like this: have you tried building relationships? Have you tried calling home? Maybe your lessons need to be a little more entertaining.
Have a little more movement.
Have you tried using your lunch period
To administer consequences?
Now, some of these might sound like good responses, and in a normal situation, they might be. But with the insanity that public schools have become and the incredibly difficult situations teachers have to deal with, these solutions disrespect and demean teachers. To put it in another light, imagine a well-trained and certified mechanic can't fix an extremely dilapidated and destroyed vehicle. They want to discuss this issue with their manager, and the response they get is, well, have you tried using a wrench? Like, no duh, I tried that, okay? I need a more targeted response. Help! Let's look at some more examples of blatant anti-teacher language. Society's discussion about CRT and book banning is absolutely anti-teacher. Book banning may be more anti-school. In both cases, teachers are demonized and are being held responsible for brainwashing students or introducing them to dangerous ideas. It's an absolute joke. This language is usually from parents that strictly watch Fox News, haven't stepped foot in a classroom, and generally don't seem to care about many other issues that affect student learning, like phones, like class sizes. Another classic blatant statement from parents or admin is, where was the teacher when something bad happens in class? An example might be in regards to damaged property. If a student's phone gets stolen or destroyed, oftentimes parents and admin ask,
Where was the teacher?
If a school computer gets damaged by a student, admin might ask, where was the teacher? If graduation rates are low, if drug use is on the rise, if society is crumbling, where were the teachers? I think you get the idea. The constant ranking and grading of teachers is anti-teacher. Many times there are new programs or initiatives thrown onto teachers. We have to figure out how to incorporate them into our class, and then we are graded and ranked on how well we completed them. Let's say you don't want to include it in the class. Let's say you don't even care about it. Nope, if you don't do it, you're a 1 out of 10. Bad teacher. Next! Lastly, deriding teachers for using sick days is blatantly anti-teacher. When admin sends an email or announces to the whole school, got a lot of teachers out today, guess no one wants to work. That's blatantly disrespectful and demeaning towards teachers. Now let's talk about veiled anti-teacher language. These are often things presented as progressive or positive for teachers, but I would argue they are still disrespectful and they potentially normalize poor or frustrating working conditions. Let's look at some examples. I often see admin and leaders just sort of shrug off concerns about class sizes. Sometimes we're told,
Yeah, teachers should be able to handle class sizes of 30 to 35.
yeah, sure. I could also probably bake a cake with a blindfold and my arm tied behind my back, but that doesn't make it right. This sort of just deal with it attitude is also used with new flavor of the week initiatives pushed by admin. Things like,
teachers should never sit down during a lesson. You should have walls that talk.
like I'm some sort of interior decorator.
All of your lessons should include some sort of movement to get students up and around the room.
I'm like, what? My class is already 35 students packed in a small room. The AC's broken and I've got behavior issues all day, every day. Now you want me to have them moving around the room? Get real. And that's the problem with these initiatives. They could be good. But when you consider the context of actual classrooms and challenges, they come across as tone deaf and just out of touch. This last one, I think, is something a lot of teachers can connect with. The encouraging of having teachers pay for a Gene Day is anti-teacher. Yeah, it might sound good, it might sound like a nice little perk. You're paying to wear jeans. This perk should be given to you from the beginning. You know what? Hold on. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, too long have genes been used to manipulate and exploit teachers. Too long have they dangled denim in front of our eyes to hide the actual problems in education. Had a crazy week with violence and school-wide threats? Friday's a Gene Day. A lot of teachers out, so now you have to use your planning time to cover other classes? Friday's a Gene Day. Got a Christmas card from admin with your special bonus in it? It's a pass for a Gene Day. Dungarees, Levi's, Arizona, Jinko. Once respected name brands in their field. Now, just useless pawns weaponized against teachers. We the people demand better. We want actual rewards for our hard work. We want actual perks for being a teacher, and we don't want to pay for them. I mean, I already bought the jeans. Can't I just wear them? For 2022, we should live our lives free from this prison of the mind. We should live our life by a new mantra, a new way of living. No more jeans. Say it with me, everyone. No more jeans. No more jeans.
No more jeans! No more jeans! No more jeans! No more jeans!
Lastly, discussions about teacher pay often devolve into veiled anti-teacher language. Well, Teachers get summer breaks, as if that's any sort of response to low pay. The phrase, teaching is a calling, sounds nice and wonderful on paper, but it's often used to justify lots of work for incredibly low wages. As a personal anecdote, while I was in college training, we had a prominent professor tell a room full of future teachers that low pay weeds out the bad teachers. By having low pay, we can make sure we get teachers that teach for the love of teaching and not for the money. Now, regrettably, I was young and dumb, so I nodded in agreement. Wow, good point. As I look back though, I realize that is the language of the abuser. That is why teachers continue to get low pay. After all this, you might ask me, Mr. Phelps, aren't you overreacting a little bit? Are teachers really this weak to criticism? You might even ask, oh, are you offended? Yeah, I guess I am offended. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about it? Yeah, sure. We need language from society and leaders that actually acknowledges the challenges within teaching. The system is simply broken and is bursting at the seams with all of its problems, with not enough employees or people to handle them all. It's normal for teachers to struggle and to have difficulties within such an absurd system. We need to transition into using language that targets fixing the broken system, not the broken teachers. Teachers are talented and highly qualified professionals in their field. If they are struggling to deal with all the problems and complications in teaching, then maybe it's time we take a long, hard look at the profession itself. Thank you all so much for watching this part 1 video discussion about anti-teacher language. It means a lot. In my next video, I'm going to be looking at a video example of anti-teacher language being used today by modern educational leaders. It's honestly crazy, kind of infuriating. Let's see. I think that's about it. Thank you all so much. I love you. Great day to be alive. We'll see you real soon. Bye.